as the 31st day of August 2024, our clients, Honorable James Gakuya and Honorable Benjamin Gathiru, aka Mejja Donk, of Embakasi Central, were summoned at the DCI headquarters over allegations that they have been sponsoring the anti-government protests that we've been witnessing for the past 1 month and counting. Now, of particular interest is that the DCI in his wisdom thought that this honorable gentleman representing Embakasi North, this is Bazenga, aka James Gakuya, and Mejja Donk of Embakasi Central. They were said to be sponsoring this anti-government protest, and to have nexus, some connection with the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And for that reason, the government was questioning them. On the 31st day of August, the government went ahead to even harass them by asking them unending questions, trying to create a nexus between the protest and their leadership. Now, through instructions that we received from them, we filed a petition before my Lord Justice Mwita. And my Lord Justice Mwita, upon being confronted with the facts that there has been allegations and there is an attempt emanating from the office of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, Mr. Mohammed Amin, and the office of the DPP. There is some concerted effort between those two offices to undermine the leadership of this honorable gentleman, to have them arrested in an attempt to intimidate them, because there is this misconceived notion that they have been sponsoring this anti-government protest. So for that reason, we approached the Honorable Court. My Lord Justice Mwita, yesterday on the 5th day of August 2024, issued orders that have consequently stopped the DCI from summoning, from intimidating, or from harassing the Honorable James Gakuya of Embakasi North and the Honorable Benjamin Gathiru, aka Mejja Donk of Embakasi Central. So we are seeing, the courts are coming out strongly to be our bastion of hope, to be the protectors of the constitutional democracy that we have embraced unto ourselves. We cannot lose sight of the reasons why these anti-government protests have been there. We know for a fact that the young generation of this Republic of Kenya have been coming out conspicuously and loudly to speak against the injustices that we've been seeing from the government, the lack of accountability and the lack of transparency. It cannot be in the mouths or the hands of the very same government to try and distract us by trying to arrest or causing the arrest and intimidation of leaders by the name of, attributing the anti-government protest to some of these leaders. We know for a fact that these young men have been leaderless. These young individuals of the Republic of Kenya, we have been partyless. The reason why this young generation has been going out in the street is well known. It's within the public knowledge and domain that we've been calling for accountability, and we cannot be distracted by the bringing in of the name of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, or the dragging in of the names of some honorable members of Parliament who are thought to be supporting or to be aligned with the leadership of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. So with that, I will surrender the floor to my senior, Mr. Danstan Omari, to also speak one or two things about the matter that is alive and well in court that is supposed to be coming up for directions, further directions on the 17th day of September 2024. Thank you.
Well, it started as a revolution where the young people raised very fundamental accounting questions. Those fundamental accounting questions brought about the questions of the transparency and capability of the then cabinet led by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto's capacity to lead the country. Out of that, the demonstrations were organic And the government responded first by saying the demonstrations were being funded by the Russians. That was on record from the official government spokesman. It turned out it was Ford Foundation that was funding the demonstrations. It moved from Ford Foundation, it was brought into the door of the sitting Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Chacha Mwita. Out of that line, his supporters, his key supporters, one being Honorable Genz Gakuya and Mejja Donk, were targeted, and other people were arrested, and also very many young people disappeared that have not been accounted. The two members of parliament were hounded from parliament buildings without their lawyers, taken to the DCI. They were held in communicado. They were questioned on two things: their relationship with one, His Excellency the Deputy President, Chacha. They were questioned whether they have funds. Investigations were done. They were told to surrender their telephone handset. When they called us, we advised them not to surrender the telephone handsets. That extended to the premises of the Deputy President. His staffs were questioned. They recorded statements. Then, after we instructed our clients not to give their telephone handsets because there is no court order, the police went to Kiambu through a miscellaneous application, got expert orders to pick the phones of the members of parliament. Out of the court order, our clients surrendered their mobile phones, so they are being analyzed by the cybercrime officers. Based on that, we moved to court with speed to get interim orders, conservatory orders, and the Lord Justice Mwita has granted the orders to stop the police and any investigative or prosecutorial agencies from arresting, detaining, arraigning, harassing, or stopping the enjoyment and the liberty of the two members of parliament. Since I have served orders to the relevant agencies, and we shall be defending the members of parliament, because what we are seeing now is that Kenya never changes. In 2013 and to 2017, there was no such actions that we are seeing. 2017 to 2022, there was arrests and arraignment of members of UDA, then an opposition party within government. They were arraigned, we stood firm, defended them, they got power. After they got power, in 2022 to 2024, the state machinery was turned against Azimio members. We still stood firm and defended the Azimio members, who have now gone to be government. They have turned from being those who are arrested, they are now the arresters. They are now targeting their guns against the internal strife within UDA, where there's one party, one faction led by His Excellency, the President, on top of it, Raila Odinga and his team, and the other party, Gachagua, who is now an outsider. He sits at the same position the Deputy President then, now the President of the Republic of Kenya, was sitting. The DCI has now again been unleashed on these people who are still in UDA, but they are perceived to be outside. We will defend them. If anybody wants to remove Gachagua, if anybody wants to remove, to deal with the Deputy President, kindly deal with him politically through an impeachment process, through the political process, through systems known by law. We'll be putting on alert that any police officer who will be used to exercise powers outside the powers provided for in Article 245 and 244 of the Constitution, forming up the National Police Service Commission, we shall be going against them in their own capacity, in their own names. We shall not be suing the National Police Service Commission. We shall be going into their own names, and they shall not be accorded any representation by taxes paid by citizens. They will have to hire their lawyers, and once they lose, they will have to pay the damages and compensation. So for now, Mheshimiwa Gakuya, Mheshimiwa Mejja Donk are free to exercise their rights because the courts have spoken. Tuliyosema ni kwamba serikali ambayo